Let me try to tell you what I think in my own mind. How deep the ocean go if you only escape the TV and the radio, escape the friends, phone call, and escape the distraction around you. In my mind, how deep it goes. I picture myself. I close my eyes. I visualize myself reversing back to be the 9-month-old in the baby bed. I was sleeping in the baby bed. I get big. Now I take my mind backwards. What if I'm not getting older? I try to picture myself going backwards. Now I picture myself back in my mother's stomach. And I say, I like to picture me going back inside my father. But it is wrong. The skin, the painting is going back inside my father. But the flesh came from my mother. I'm like, okay. My mother cannot get the flesh out. It will be naked. Now, if an Asian man was my father, I will look like colored Asian. If a white man was my father, I will be a colored girl. If a black man is my father, that's why I have this skin. I'm like, okay. The man came only to paint the flesh. I am just my mother in the body. But if my mother cannot read my mind, that means I came from somewhere else. And I ask myself, how is it possible I can enter without knowing where I came from? Like, okay, there are graveyards, people dying. What if the wind that went, the body went away, the wind is gone, and pregnant women, they say, no wind, the baby is stillborn, the baby is going 6 feet. I'm thinking, okay, she's pregnant, the man paints the body, no fresh air for the baby gonna die. And I see a lot of babies in the graveyard. I'm like, I check my mind. I'm like, I'm in a bedroom, masturbating, and then if someone is younger than me, my mother was 13 years old, and I have a big age, and inside this 13 years, it take my life in the bedroom for 13 years time, no matter which age I was. I was 10, I become 23 when she was born. I was 20, I become 33. I was 30, I become the 43. I was 40, I become the 53. So my age on top of me is she the 13. She's now a bucket of my feeling. And now, they dump paint inside of her, and they print my 13 years masturbation out of her. And now it's missing in my big body, and I enter the stomach. And now I am here, in this age, playing around with the feeling, but my mother cannot feel what I'm doing. When I'm sleeping, I'm not touching. I was the 1-year-old, I become the 2. Where's my 1-year-old? It was gone. I become the 3. The 2 is gone. I become the 4. The 3 is gone. I become the 5. The 4 is gone. Now, I piece it together. I'm like, wait a minute. On picture, it's my face. But when I'm sleeping, I have age coming inside of me. And there are pregnant women counting me backwards. I climb up 1 year, they get pregnant. So, when I reach age 6, masturbating, the pregnant woman behind me is going to have the baby with my masturbation. I am 10 masturbating. The pregnant woman is getting my masturbation. That's how I visualize myself. And then I try to think, I can say, where did God came from? If God is living in the sky, why do we have a dot? I'm like, I can try to think if I really came down with a parachute or with a plane. Okay, I think God should have been smart. Like building a place higher for us. And then people have babies, and then they put them in a parachute or in a plane and leave them downstairs. But the babies are made in the bedroom. So it's difficult for God up in the sky to tell me that when we die, we're going to fly to heaven. So I'm looking. I see the graveyard. I walk in the graveyard. I clean the graveyard. I spy on the faces of the people. And I'm looking at the birth date of the people. I'm like, 2006 people died, but there are children in the school that was born 2006. I'm like watching all this gravestone. They put in all the people who died together. I say, wow, that's people. All of them are one classmate. Like 2005, 2006 is the group 1, group 2, They put the, and I study the graveyard, and I study the faces in the graveyard. I pass through the grave, and I watch little babies that are dead. I'm like, someone have a baby, and the baby is dead. I say they change. This can be, people are dead over here, and they let these people get pregnant, and they decide, oh, there will be no future, and they move the wind and give it to the baby that just came out 1 week later, because the first pregnant woman was pregnant 1 week earlier. They throw that face away, and 9 months and 1 week later, the other one who have the baby, they take the wind, they switch it. And now someone is praying for their dead loved ones, but what they become, they live in a house for 1 week and they change the birthday. So that's how I read the wall. And I'm looking, sitting in my house, I picture my house moving like a train. I'm like, what if I'm sitting like this, there's an earthquake? How deep does it go? How can a dot came in the wall when the sky looks so clean? How did God came to produce us? And I'm looking at the smallest animal on the floor. I'm like, okay, the smallest animal makes sense. The ant is the only place you can find where the rat came from. You can look the ant, like you look the smallest mirror. The ant is little. The ant have a fat ass, and then they move to be this form of big ant, you know. And then you're looking at it and like, where the rat came from. Pregnancy is swelling up. 9 months. Okay, the ant must have been pregnant, and then swelling up, and then changing, and then manifest, because it have a form. You like picture where the rat, where the gorilla came from. I piece it together. I'm like, the rat is the monkey, and the monkey is the gorilla. I'm like, the rat become the monkey and lost the tail to become the gorilla, and the stomach of the gorilla came us. There is no other place we can came from. There has to be a stomach. Like we seen us coming out every 9 months we complete. We have to came from somewhere. And I'm looking. I'm like, wait a minute. Which animal is identical us where we can really came from? Because we just popping just a complete sugar box, but we're not pumping where we came from. And now the wind in the mind take me in the gorilla stomach and tell me a story that because when the gorilla was always pregnant, the monkey and the gorilla man like to have sex with the smallest baby, and to stop the pain, because it's just a dream in the mind. It can be real for you, it can be not, but it works for me. It's better than CNN breaking news showing me someone's head is break in Iraq, or they just bomb someone in Saudi Arabia. So I am looking in the mind, you know, look deep in. The consciousness say that when she was pregnant as a gorilla, the minute the baby came out of his stomach, the man gorilla and the monkey, because the baby is too little, they just take it, they have sex with it. But the wind in the mind of the little baby is feeling the pain. And now the consciousness say, okay, they're waiting for the fresh baby. They don't want to fuck the consciousness, because the consciousness is having big baby. The vagina of the consciousness is not sexy anymore, because they see big baby. And now they're only waiting. They dump paint and they just wait for the fresh baby. Fresh baby. And now they bleed the fresh baby to bleed the fresh baby. Now the consciousness say, okay, how to get out of here. The fly is disturbing the gorilla, and then the consciousness stay in the stomach for 9 months and build the stool and then step down. But when the baby came out, the gorilla does not recognize the baby. The consciousness say the gorilla was afraid of the baby because the creature looked different. But the mind, the God that was the rat, that become the monkey, that become the gorilla, the God know. But the gorilla don't know what to expect out of the stomach. But the God know. The God is stepping down to be the Sarah. Black woman is God. The God step down to be the wind that is inside of me. Stepping down and then growing. But the gorilla is afraid of what they see. They're like, what is this? It looks different. And then the consciousness go away. with the child, and then the mother gorilla does not resurrect with the baby because it looks like a beast. It looks strange. It doesn't look like the children, so she pull away from the baby, but the God, that is the wind inside the body, like walk away, and then the God went on and prints this baby, which is the wind, transit to be a beautiful. The longer it stay, it manifests to be a better good looking. From a gorilla to a Sarah, you see the face of a gorilla on the internet, and then going to a brown new beautiful, and make a boy and a girl. But every time the boy and the girl have to connect to go forward. But now these days, the children watch the gorilla print out of the gorilla mother. Now any drop they drop in the stomach, the monkey drop a paint, it came out as sexy people. All skinny people, they are just the monkey, and all fat people, they are just the gorilla. Now they dump a paint, and now the tool in the stomach, the pregnancy is not going to the gorilla level anymore, but the little babies that was forced out, they're making gorilla babies. But the big consciousness is only printing human being. And now there's blind bodies that identical us, they came out of the stomach, and now they are the biggest competition we have. When they came out, they don't have the feeling. I have the feeling. The God left the stomach with the feeling. They are just a drop that came to look like us. They don't have the feeling. The God left the feeling, and the God traveled with the me with the feeling. And now they figured out when I'm busy feeling my pleasure, they can receive. And now since they find me, they chase me. 1344 they chase me. 1685 they chase me. 1710 they chase me. 1800 they chase me. 1906 they chase me. 1972 they chase me. And now the consciousness is now changing the future by blocking the 9-month pregnancy, what they chase easily, to become 18 months, and now 27 months, and now I am 5 times 9 months blocking. I am now on my way to the 19th of November to the 6 times blocking. I'm just trying to tell you, there is illusion in the world that is taking mankind to go to illusion field. You're not going to space, you're going to what they build. They're taking you into a dream world which they build to fool us. But all they need from us is the masturbation to charge them. In order for you to understand where I'm coming from, the only way to find out who is me is by you reading the video to know where you can find the black woman they say is God. It's not my face. My masturbation is what is me. Those people look like me because they fuck the gorilla to become a tool like me, but they don't have what is me. If you type on the internet, you will find today, I'm going to look for videos, what I saw. You will find today black people which are paint, they living butt naked in the zoo. White people, Asian people, butt naked in the zoo. But us, we're living in these houses, fooling us that life is perfect. But I know there is more to this life. And they know I am the consciousness that travel, and now I'm busy blocking. I'm going to block forever. I don't know where the future is going. So I'm going to advise all the girls that look like boys. Your only way forward is to rescue your brother you love so much. But that brother is actually your husband that died inside of you. The big body go back to mama, but the one drop of sperm is living inside you. Only you, the sister, can take him to the future. You always taking the wrong brother to the future. You never take the real brother, which is your own love, which is your own heart. You never know what to do with your son. When I'm telling you how to save that boy you love so much, your son is your brother. Your son is your brother. That is always your husband that paints you. But when you make him, he's wasting his life. You think he's a tree that's going to bloom like the apple tree. He's only a 9-month-old. There's a maximum from him. It's going to empty. But you have to take him to the hospital and scan his body to find out how much left in his body before he wastes the last one out and his life is over. Take care.